And the starting lineup for this race, I'm going to roll through it relatively quickly. On the front row, it's going to be Eric Catil in the number 82 Honda Civic Si. Todd Cayley in the number 161 will line up alongside him on that front row. Row 2, Justin Lee and Dyson Pham. Row number 3, Andrew Rains and Andy Smedgard. Actually, that might be, it's probably Ronnie Solomon again. And then in row 4, Eric Meadows and Joel Morrison, William McDonnell and Scott Adams in row number 5, Scott Robertson, Luke McGrew in row number 6, Patrick Rice in the number 168 in 13th alongside Dan Bird in 14th for row number 7, then Frederick Scott, Brian DeFries in row 8, Dine Wen in the 920 car starts 17th, and Jeremy Boysen starts at the tail of the field in 18th place for this race. So field lining up, and they'll be double filing here relatively shortly as we enter the backside of the course here, Tom. 15 minutes set by lap time from race number 1. Your thoughts on how this one might go?
Well, for drivers like Dyson Pham, who made a big mistake in the middle of that race, gets a reset. He will start 4th despite finishing well down the order in race 1 because, again, we're gridding this race off of fastest lap, not off of finishing order. So there is some shuffling around in the field. The other thing to note, rewards weight is in play. Eric Catil, Todd Cayley, and Andrew Rains all have additional weight bolted into their car, 75, 50, and 25 pounds respectively, so those cars' performance may start to dial back a little bit. The last question mark I have, Jeremy Boysen, I don't know if my race director can hear me right now, but race director Jeremy Boysen, I don't know if he passed tech or not, but if he didn't pass tech, that would be the reason he starts at the back. He did finish, I think, 4th or 5th, so that's a question mark too. We'll watch the 99.
And he was fast, too, so he'll be charging through the field. And as the field doubles up, they head into turn 13 on the backside of the racetrack. Double file again. 18 cars. We're 9 rows deep. And we had a pretty intense lap 1, turn 1 last time, but it was relatively clean, so we'll hope we can do the same this time. Doubling up as they head through the last couple of corners. And looks like, is the pace car going to stay out another lap? We're going to get another pace lap here, or are they going to pull off later? I don't know if there's a way to pull off later.
If we get the
there is a way.
Yeah, they are. If we get the green flag, I'm watching the car on the inside of row 3. That's the black BMW Andrew Rains. He was really aggressive and really smart at the beginning of race 1. Keep an eye on that car.
Gridlife Touring Cup race number 2 from NOLA Motorsports Park, about to turn them loose. 18 drivers deep. The second of 4 races this weekend. Eric Catil alongside Todd Cayley in the 161. Green flag flies, and we're racing at NOLA.
Wow, look at that BMW from 5th. Got a little bit of a run, but Dyson Pham is the big mover so far. He's up alongside Justin Lee. They're still side by side for Cayley and Catil into turn 1. The field streams underneath our drone into the braking zone. Lots of bumps.
A push maybe from the back of Ronnie Solomon into, I think that's Dyson Pham in the blue S2000. Hugs the apex of the next corner here, but Catil leads now by 5 car lengths with Cayley in behind.
Luke McGrew is about 7th already, up from the 12th spot on grid. They're going to go 3 wide. Meadows and McGrew split Ronnie Solomon, and they're both going to go around him. So Luke McGrew is still on the outside. Now they're going to go 3 wide with Dyson Pham, and it's a 4-car breakaway at the front. McGrew shows the nose on the blue S2000 of Pham. That is a black NC Miata with that Duratec motor. He's got to run, but he's going to be in the puddles.
And side by side now, Dyson Pham, Luke McGrew. Luke chose rain tires, as you mentioned earlier. Now he's going to be on slicks as he comes on through. We're going to get to see the true pace of McGrew's car now as he trails that blue S2000. Ronnie Solomon in behind. There's that 72 car, Scott Adams, who was so fast in the first race, ended up having to drop out. But he will get a starting position because of his fast times, and he is right in behind that big battle for about 5th spot right now.
Luke McGrew again on the back of Dyson Pham. They are side by side into the S's, which is a bold move on the opening lap, but they're going to do it. Here they come. Luke McGrew is on the outside, sweeps around Pham, and they're still side by side. No, McGrew completes the pass. Look at Eric Catil, 10 car lengths or more already at the front.
He is just dialed this week again. New rules changes. He had to get the car retuned and re-dynoed and everything this week, but he's gotten that car dialed in. McGrew, Pham, Meadows, and Solomon all nose to tail as they come through turn 13. Scott Robertson as well. He drives that car to events with a little trailer behind it. Here he is racing up there inside the top 10.
Yeah, you heard that right. He drives the car to the racetrack, shifts it over to track mode, and then changes it back to drive it home. But he is running into 8th place right now, just behind Ronnie Solomon. Headlights are already on as the sun is starting to get pretty low in the sky. Catil comes across to complete lap 1. Now Cayley, Lee, Rains, and McGrew are the top 5. Look at Luke McGrew up 7 spots this first lap.
Well, we knew that Luke was going to be fast, and we were so perplexed in the opening race why he was dropping so many spots. It was just the tire choice. The car is wicked fast, and Luke is a really good driver. He will go farther forward this race. We know that. Dyson Pham has Eric Meadows all over him as they sweep through turn 1.
Pham, remember, he was really fast in race number 1, but doesn't seem to have the pace quite yet. He had been moving almost up into the 4th position when he made a mistake and dropped back in the field. Look at McGrew, he's tucked right underneath the back of Andrew Rains, and Andrew Rains is on a 100 treadwear tire. Luke McGrew is on a full race tire, so he's going to have the advantage in the twisty sections, but that BMW is really quick in a straight line. Rains going for a little bit of a wider line, actually loses the apex and misses it, and now Luke McGrew in the white-topped car is going to have a run up into turn 5.
He probably will be able to complete that pass at the top of the screen. You see Jeremy Boysen, he's grabbed a bunch of spots here in the opening couple laps. He's moved himself into 11th spot the first time around. McGrew completes that pass, puts himself up into 3rd position, is going to try to go run down Justin Lee. I think that's 4th, actually, my mistake there. So he's going to continue that climb as they head onto the backstretch.
Justin Lee's doing a really good job to stay in contact with Todd Cayley. He had, I think, an ABS failure that put him out of race number 1, but he had a really good lap that bounced him back up into the top taking cars from the grid on race 2. So far, he's having a strong run, but Luke McGrew's going to run him down really quick, I think.
Todd Cayley has Justin Lee only about 10 car lengths behind him. The battle right now, Eric Meadows and Solomon into turn 13. Meadows deep on the brakes. He's been very aggressive there so far today. Will hang on to that spot. Scott Robertson, big flame fireball at the back of that car on the downshift.
Meadows and Solomon are the silver and yellow cars just there on the left. They're battling for what is 7th and 8th. And that battle is hot. Everyone else kind of spreading out just a bit until I suspect McGrew will eventually catch Justin Lee if we get the pace out of that car. Andrew Rains has dropped to 5th, and he's falling into the clutches of Dyson Pham potentially.
Across the line, and they came out of that final corner all the way up against the concrete wall over the edge of the rumble strips. Do we know where the track limit is there? I would assume to the inside of those, and I don't think they'll probably be officiated there today, but they're getting real creative with using all that extra racetrack.
Solomon is still all over the back bumper of Meadows there, center screen, and they flash out into turn number 2. Robertson is within striking distance, and then Jeremy Boysen in the black and white RSX. Sweeping through turn 2, he had a drag race with Scott Adams down the front straightaway, and he won the race into turn number 1, so he's into the top 10 now, up from very last on the grid.
Is that Dyson Pham that's side-by-side with Rains right now through what I believe is turn 3, and they're going to sweep on through. Pham not able to complete that pass, but super aggressive in front of him. Look at Justin Lee and Luke McGrew. Luke completes that pass around the outside.
That's awesome stuff. So now that's a podium for Luke McGrew up to 3rd. Now the race 3 grid is based on finishing order for this one, so position matters. This sets you up for the next race, not only for the finish of this race. Now a little further back on the road, Eric Meadows has found some boosters, and he's up underneath the back end of Dyson Pham, who is being held up, I think, a little bit by Andrew Rains. Those are the 3 cars on the left side of the screen.
It's going to get really entertaining here down towards turn 13, one of the heaviest braking zones on this racetrack after flowing through the S's. Right, left, and left again as they sweep through. Pham kind of the beat in the sandwich right now as they come on through, and Meadows doesn't have the headlights on just yet, but Solomon does behind. That's going to be a bit of a distraction maybe as well.
Yeah, this foursome's going to turn fierce. Solomon is really fast at the end of these S's, but look how good the Miata is on the brakes. Jumps on him. Whoa, Solomon goes for the dive.
Oh, really deep into turn 13, completes the pass, but Meadows going to get back to the inside, and he's got overlap there, climbs the curbing, and they're going to run side by side in the last couple corners.
Losing touch a little with the back of Dyson Pham, but Ronnie Solomon completes the pass, finally gets it done and closes the door on Eric Meadows, who's still trying to hold the outside, chucks it in. Is it going to work? He's going to go all the way out of those curbs. Oh, it's still not going to pay off for him. No, loses some drive on those curbs. Maybe even missed a shift.
Yeah, something definitely was wrong there as he's slow coming out of the corner. There's Scott Robertson, Jeremy Boysen thundering on by as they come across the line. 6 minutes completed this 15-minute race, and that was a mistake there maybe for Eric Meadows.
Keep an eye on that RSX. They're now just coming towards the cameras. He didn't quite complete the drag race this time, but that car's really quick. Now just turning through turn number 1. Scott Robertson completes the pass on Meadows, though. I think Meadows probably has to grab a shift coming onto the front straightaway, and if he was on those curbs, maybe missed it.
Some battles going on a little bit deeper in the field. We're going to keep our focus a little bit closer to the front right now. Todd Cayley is being run down by McGrew now as they sweep out of turn number 4. That is going to be a pass for position if this remains at current pace.
1.4 seconds out of Todd Cayley's second place lead. Just that last lap, and we're only 7 minutes into this race, so he's got over half race distance to go. We have a big lunge at the back of the pack between a couple of the drivers down there. I think that is DeFries and Rhea is potentially going through turn 3. Just a quick shout out finally to Eric Coutinho, 151.6. That is wildly fast in a GLTC car. He's got that Civic turn up.
Absolutely wild. I know Scott Robertson right now is playing defense. He's got Boysen and Adams behind him, and there is that battle with DeFries. I think that's also Wen in the 920 that's back there, and then Bird in the blue CRX, that number 22 car. So they're having a good scrap back there as the battle for second continues to close. Justin Lee's not too far behind, and also we've got Reigns and Dyson Pham going back at it again into turn 13. That's the battle on screen right now.
Pham is hunting just a little bit. He's showing the nose on the braking zones. He's letting Reigns know that he's there, but Reigns has a ton of racing experience. Probably a pretty cool cat. The question is whether or not he's got enough grip in those 100 tread-wear tires. He's definitely going to be down on cornering speed. You can see Dyson Pham closing up the gap just a little bit as he's rolling more speed, but that BMW is good off the corner. Look at the torque, pulls away a couple of car lengths off in turn 16 before they finally even out down the straightaway.
About halfway through this race, getting into Slipstream now, utilize that big that big chassis in front of him to tuck in behind as they come through. Robertson still defending from Meadows and Boysen. Boysen taking a look out to drivers right towards turn number 1. He might take a stab at it in the braking zone.
Quite this time as they leave frame there at the bottom. Scott Adams is not really out of this one. If they start to bicker amongst the three of them, Scott Adams is absolutely in this battle. And this battle coming onto the front straightaway, we take a look at DeFries, Wynn, and Bird. Those three are having a great battle, even if it is for 13th, 12th, and 14th.
Coming across the line now, they're all right on top of each other. There they are in view.
A couple of Hondas screaming by.
This is just how GLTC goes. Even if your car is not quite to the rules, you can still have an amazing battle. Even if it's for 15th, you're still having fun. Put a smile on your face.
How about the battle for 11th? That is Frederick Scott and Patrick Reyes. It's a mid-90s Mustang battling with a Honda S2000 on street tires. They've been a little quiet, but they've had some back and forth too. They're working their way towards turn 3 as the battles towards the front have fizzled for just a moment.
Well, second place is under attack right now. That is Todd Cayley in the 161, the silver and blue car. Then you've got Luke McGrew in behind him with the checkered top black car, and he's chasing him down into turn 13. And that is going to be one of the better battles, except for the one behind them, Reigns, Pham, and Sullivan, as they head into 13 as well.
Sullivan had a ton of confidence on the brakes going into that corner. Not this lap, no opportunities, but Jeremy Boysen thinks about it, shoves the RSX.
Big lockup.
Big lockup, almost into the back of Eric Meadows, but gathers it up, and Meadows was able to break away. But Scott Robertson's pace looks really good. He's pulling away from those two.
He's doing a great job, and I think he's having fun right now as we watch Boysen go back to the inside of Meadows through turn 15, and now he's going to stay there through turn 16 as well. Wow. Back onto the front straight, reel it back up, wind up the motor, and send it down the straightaway as they come across the line having their scrap.
He got it done. That was pretty impressive to hang around the outside in that RSX, and now just motors past Eric Meadows up the front straightaway. Scott Adams is in the fight now between those three, but that fight is only for 9th.
There's that battle again between DeFries, Wynn, and Bird. They're having so much fun right now in their own little world back here, but enjoying every bit of it. Eric Cattell is way out front. Ran a 1:51.386 last lap. That's a new track record for GLTC. He's just got a whole logbook full of those today as he rockets on through, leading by, is that right, 2 seconds over? Is that all the lead he has?
I think this is sorted by fastest lap.
That might be why. Okay. I was wondering why that would be the case. You're right.
Look at Di Wynn with a run on Brian DeFries down the front straightaway. They're going to go side by side into turn 1, about to appear in your frame. There they are, but Wynn backs out of it. It's going to tuck back in line. So not enough confidence on the brakes through those bumps. The older Civic versus the newer Civic with ABS. Eric Tito has many car wins, but Luke McGrew's gone through to second over Todd Cayley into the S's. They're now single file with McGrew at the point.
Cayley is going to try to keep him in touch here as they head towards 13. A great run here. Going to charge down towards that corner in the braking zone. Oh, McGrew is going to keep him honest and won't let him go down to the inside. So they're going to say second and third as it stands.
Fortunately for these drivers, there's still a huge puddle inside turn number 13's braking zone. Was that passing opportunity? White flag is out for Eric Cattell. We're on the final lap with 11.5 minutes complete on GLTC race number 2, and a couple of these positions are not decided yet. We're still watching Todd Cayley, who has a little bit of a run on Luke McGrew. They're nose to tail on the front straightaway.
Oh, thank God they're not nose to nose. That wouldn't be very fun. Down the straightaway, though, Todd Cayley's got that slipstream. He's going to have a look out here to drivers right. Not quite, not close enough. Brake lights fire up as they head down into turn number 1.
Todd said he was on the rev limiter down the front straightaway. I think he had the run and then probably popped it a couple times. Dyson Pham, though, he's got a huge run on Andrew Reigns. They're down the front straight just a little further ahead of the cars we're watching now on camera.
They're side by side.
He's going for it.
Into turn number 1, side by side.
Sweeps the outside and makes it happen. Andrew Reigns has to give the position up as Pham carried so much speed around the outside of turn 1. Now Ronnie Sullivan might have a run on Reigns as well.
Pump of smoke out of the CRX as they sweep through the S's. Again, the white flag is out for the race leader, Eric Cattell, but lots of battles all over the racetrack.
Reigns went defensive, and he has to defend from Ronnie Sullivan, or keeping an eye on the specs, but it's hard to tell which color is what. There's still two of them side by side. Looks like Solomon was able to hold the outside around turn 3 and has the inside advantage for turn 4, but Reigns gets the power down, and they're still going to be side by side. Solomon through the puddles and now tucks in.
Till leads the way through the S's for the final time in race number 2, with all the battles happening in the mirror today for the driver of the 1992 Civic Si. And I think while we enjoy our buddy Eric, the battle and the cameras are on the drivers in second. Luke McGrew leads Todd Cayley by 4 car lengths. Make it 3, make it 2, make it 1. Cayley's there towards the braking zone. Deep on the brakes, has a look down the inside. Can't quite get there. McGrew hangs on.
A little further back, Andrew Reigns was able to hold off Ronnie Solomon, so it's Pham, Reigns, and Solomon, but the battle for second.
Second place is under attack. Eric Cattell wins 2 for 2 today in Gridlife Touring Cup. For second place, McGrew and Cayley battling nose to tail as they come out of the final corner. McGrew going to get that Duratec 2.5 throttled up to the line now. And it's going to be McGrew by 2 car lengths over Todd Cayley, second, third. McGrew, Cayley. That's your podium. Fourth place now. Leave is going to be Justin Lee, with some hard chargers coming up pretty quick behind him.
Yeah, Justin Lee didn't have much attack that time, but he didn't have the pace to stick with the front runners. He crosses in 4th. Dyson Pham, a well-finished 5th, and Andrew Reigns an impressive 6th, battling off some cars on stickier tires than he's got. Robertson is through to drag race across the line for Boyson and Meadows, but Meadows takes it to hang on to the top 10, so Boyson up from 18th to 10th, but Meadows said no further.
That was pretty wild. Still a couple of scraps going on around the racetrack. I'm waiting to see our buddies in the Hondas towards the tail that have been having all their fun. I think we lost one of the 3 in that battle.
Guy went and dropped out.